Man, I've missed you guys. Not gonna lie, but we are back, baby. We've got some basketball on the way. And yes, I will give you guys an MLB winner as well for today. This is the free three. Let's get into it and let's have a day.
I love it, Noble. Noble, I also love your YouTube videos. I watched them while I was gone. That was fire.
But getting paid because yesterday we had a full sweep. Mike going under, that was just icing on the cake. Why are we going to go in such a weak AFC South? Unless we have the NBA Blowout Association today.
Knicks take a 1-point lead with 13 seconds.
When you hear the sirens, you know what that means.
You got barbecue back there, and you didn't invite me. Hurt my feelings.
What is up, my friends? It is your boy Noble Living back with another DYF Bets video where I'm bringing down my favorite picks and plays of the day as we just try to get to the bag together and make some money. You guys see me. I'm in the car. The screen is sliding because I'm at the charging station. But guess what? We are still going to put out picks and plays here. I do apologize. I've been trying to stay consistent with the videos recently, but ever since the YouTube banned me, it kind of threw off my schedule and everything. But we are going to be officially back. It is busy season for me. If you guys do not know, I am a traveling DJ when I'm not professionally sports betting. So this is busy season for me. I'm all over the country doing weddings and doing nonprofits and conferences, all bunch of stuff. But my goal is to still show up for you guys and give the picks and plays. If I cannot get to the video, sometimes it's because I'm in the country. Sometimes I just can't upload the video. It's not always because I just haven't done the research. I don't have the time. But make sure you guys are following us at Noble Living on the Action Network. That is where all plays will be documented. I will document plays there 95% of the time. Even if there's not a video out, even if I'm not tweeting anything and I'm not getting all the graphics, I promise you guys I will at least put out a few plays right here at the Noble Living on the Action Network. All right, guys? So I do appreciate all the love and support that you guys have shown, the people who've DM'd me and saying, Noble, where you at, man? I appreciate you guys. We are here, and my goal is to be back, and we're here to stay. All right, guys? We haven't been doing like the free three like the way that I've been doing it for a while, which is just 3 picks, maybe a bonus 4 plays. But I've just really kind of been spraying the board recently, and it's kind of worked in our favor. Sometimes it hasn't. But my goal right now is just to kind of give you guys my overall, like, I feel like right now, narrowing down to just like 3 plays is a little bit tough just because there's so many different angles that you can take, especially with the NBA playoffs. I'm mixing it up with totals, team totals. I'm doing prop builders, but I don't want to be too exposed on just one player. So sometimes I'm doing a prop builder with a superstar, and sometimes I'm doing some with a role player. Like yesterday was a great example. I took Donovan Mitchell 25 points, and I took Ant 25 points in a prop builder. Well, obviously that missed because Ant Edwards only finished with 23, only had 1 point in the first half. But there was another builder that I did with Jimmy for 20 points and then Draymond's like rebounds, and that hit, right? So it's like different angles that I'm trying to take here. Same thing with baseball as well. We've got Nerfies. There's just so many plays that are going on right now. So make sure you guys are practicing bankroll management because that is so key, especially in these summer months as we get ready for the NFL and college football, which is going to be right around the corner. So let's get into the plays for today, guys, real quick and fast. I'm going to spray the board again today just with a few picks and plays. So let's go to the baseball card first, and then we'll go look at the rest of the games. Now, obviously, we have a huge baseball slate, 15 plus games that we have on the board today, because it is a travel day in baseball. And if you guys do know, I do not typically like to give you guys plays on the early games just because, you know, you're watching this video probably around 12, 1 o'clock, and you might not have time to plug in some of these plays. Now, my Nobu Nerfy goes out every morning. I drop that Nobu Nerfy by like 10:30, 11 o'clock. I've been a little bit inconsistent on that as well, but I do have one today. And if you are tapped into this video, then you might know that I have 1 Nerfy on this Astros Brewers, and I have 3 other Nerfies today. So make sure you guys tap into the Nobu Nerfy on TikTok at Noble Living. You can see it right there at the bottom. But our first pick and play of the day, as we scroll down here, is going to be this 6:05, 7:05 matchup, depending on where you're located on the East Coast or Central Time. And the first one I'm going to lock in here is the Phillies on the money line. We're going to do this to lay 1 unit down here. Let me just type in the free 3 here. And sometimes if I don't put out a video, guys, I try to give you guys a little bit of a quick explanation as to why I take the pick and play. But this one here between the Phillies and Rays, we've got 2 pitchers on the mound in Shane Baz and Christopher Sanchez. Now, if we look at the ERA for both of these guys, it's a little bit interesting because Shane Baz on the year, he's 3-1. with a 3.86 ERA. So that's not too shabby with a 1.17 whip. Now, if we look down at some of his recent performances, this is where things could get a little bit concerning. Last start against the Royals, he went 5 2/3, 9 hits, 7 earned runs to giving up with 1 home run. Against San Diego, he pitched stellar, 7 innings, 4 hits, no earned runs given up. But against the Yankees, 3 1/3, 4 hits, 5 earned runs. Same thing against the Angels here, 7 innings, 3 hits, 2 earned runs. So this is a guy who can be a little bit inconsistent, up and down, up and down. We can see the shutout performance here. We see the 1-run, 2-hit ball here. But this is the thing that gets me concerned. 1 home run, 1 home run, 1 home run, 1 home run. That's a little bit concerning. And the reason why that is concerning is because the game is at home for the Rays, which they're playing at George Steinbrenner Field, which, if you guys don't know, have those very short porches. And it's hot out in Tampa, which causes the ball to travel a little bit further. If we look at the splits for Shane Baz this year on the road, he actually has no roads. He has 1 road start. And that was the shutout performance where he went 7 innings and 4 hits. But at home, he has a 4.82 ERA with 4 home runs and 15 earned runs. That is where I get a little bit concerned. Why? Because the Philadelphia Phillies are one of those teams that can kill you with the long ball. Kyle Schwarber, Nick Castellanos, Bryce Harper. We saw even Alex Bohm hit a home run yesterday to the opposite field, and that's a guy who never even hits home runs. So that's what gets me concerned, is because this Rays offense has been very inconsistent over the last several games. If we go look at the Rays real quickly here, we can see real fast as we pull up the game log. Sorry about the little bit of the lag that we're getting here. They scored 4 runs yesterday, but the Phillies scored 8. Against the Yankees home scan, they scored 7 and 3, but those games were on the road. But you can see here, no runs against the Yankees. At home, 2 runs against the Royals. No runs against the Royals. 1 run against the Royals. So they're inconsistent. After sweeping the Padres and winning 2 out of 3 against the Diamondbacks, then they went cold on offense. They won one here. They won another one here, but this was a low-scoring game, and I just can't get the confidence with the Rays here to say that they're going to win this game when you're facing such an offensively heavy team in the Phillies. Now, Christopher Sanchez is a guy who can be hit or miss, but he's a 3.45 ERA. And if we look at his recent start against Washington, 5 innings, 5 hits, 2 earned runs, but no home runs. Same thing against the Mets. 2 innings here, not the best performance, but they pulled him out of that game because he had a very high pitch count, but he only gave up 2 earned runs in the 2 innings. Against the Giants, 7 innings, 4 hits, 3 runs here. So if he can control the walks, we can be good. But I also like the fact that the Phillies have won 4 of the last 5 starts that Sanchez has started, and they've given him decent run support. 7 runs here, not real much run support here, but 6 runs, 4 runs, 8 runs. So for me, I like the Phillies here. We're locking that in for our best bet of the day, the Phillies on the money line. Now, my second baseball bet of the day is going to also be in another evening game. And we're going to go to this Yankees-Padres game. And I've been taking the Padres a lot recently because they've been on an absolute hot streak. But now we've got Dylan Cease on the mound against Max Fried. And if we go look at the ERA for both of these guys, Max Fried's been absolutely stellar ever since joining the Yankees. 6-0, 1.01 ERA. Meanwhile, Dylan Cease, he's not as bad as the 5.61 ERA might represent, but he's just a guy that you never know what he can give you, and he's a pitch to contact guy. When his strikeout pitch is working, he's unstoppable, but he's also always throwing the ball over the plate, which leads to contact. And when you got contact and you got a guy like Aaron Judge who's smacking everything out of the park, or you've got guys like Austin Wells, you've got Verdugo, you've got different players who can play the small ball over there, it gets me a little bit of concern. So what I'm going to do here, I'm going to isolate this just to the first 5 innings, and because it's a little bit juiced here on the money line. So we're going to go Yankees on the first 5 run line here. Let me zoom out just a little bit so I can change this filter here on this right side of the screen. Let us go first 5 on the spread. If you want to take them on the money line, be my guest, but we're going to take that half right there for -115 for our second best bet of the day. I think Max Fried is the better starter. I think he's going to get a little bit of run support here. The bullpens I just don't want to touch because we saw what both of these bullpens did. Yesterday, the Padres bullpen gave like 10 runs in the 8th. In the first games, the Yankees bullpen was the one that fell apart. So for me, I just want to keep it to the starters. Max Fried, the guy in the better form at Yankee Stadium. Let's lock that in. Now, let's go to the NBA card, guys, as these NBA playoffs have been absolutely amazing. Great games that we've been getting every single day. It's been shocking because the road team has won. This is the first time ever in NBA playoff history that we've gone to the semifinals and of the conference semifinals, and all 4 road teams have won game 1. And we saw what the Pacers did yesterday in game 2, so you can never count anybody out. Well, instead of taking a look at the spreads and all that good jazz here, let's go to the Knicks and Celtics game first. And the first bet that we're going to lock in is we're going to go with the first half team total for the Celtics here. I'm going to have to do some adjustments manually here. So I'm not going to lock it in here live on the channel, but we're going to go first half. Let me see if somebody else locked it in now. Okay, so I'm going to wait till the line comes out here, but the first half line for the Celtics is at 57.5. I'm going to lock that one in. So Celtics first half over 57.5. Let's go to Doink Sports real quickly, okay? If we go look at the Celtics here, they've been absolutely inconsistent when it comes down to scoring the ball this season. Or not this season, I should say this playoffs. You get one game against Orlando where you get 120, then you get 105 against the Knicks. 107, 93. And we know this is a team in the Celtics that can fill it up. Well, if they hit their three-pointers, we'll be good. In game 1, they missed like 33 pointers, which I think that's going to get a little bit of regression. They should hit a few more today, but also in game 1, they scored 61 points in the first half, and that was despite the fact that Porzingis only played about 13 minutes in that first half, and he did not play the remainder of the game due to a stomach bug. I think that he's going to play the full game today. Jalen Brown is still dealing with a little bit of injury, but he should be better as well. Derek Wright should not be shooting 53s as well, and then also Jason Tatum, he could be a little bit more productive, but I think this is just one of those angles here where if you look at the game logs against the Knicks specifically this year, 61, like I mentioned in game 1 of the first half, 52 here on April the 2nd, but that wasn't a game that they really woke up for. 64 here, 61 here, 74 here. So for me, they're averaging on average 60 points per game in the first half against the Knicks this year, and I like that. And this is not the same. The reason why I said the Celtics offense has been a little bit inconsistent in the playoffs is because they face a very tough defensive team in the Magic. Well, the Knicks are not the same defensive team as the Magic. They do pride themselves on the defense, but they're not playing defense like the Magic. They're really scoring way more points than we expect them to. So for me, I like that here. And if we look at the Knicks here, their game log, they gave up 61 in the first half against Detroit. Obviously 61 for the Celtics last game. 49, 43, 53, 55, 55. Flirted with these numbers, right, of 57.5. But the Pistons ain't the Celtics on the offense. They're not shooting as many threes as the Celtics offensively. They're not trying to get to the free throw line as much as the Celtics offensively. So for me, I like the Celtics in the first half. I do lean the overall over in this game. I had taken that as well personally over 213.5 in the first game. Well, it fell at 213, and the game did go into overtime. But again, no Porzingis in that game. Celtics missed 30-plus threes in that game. If they even hit 5 more three-pointers, if Porzingis plays more minutes, which he should today, I expect us to fly over this total. I expect to get the high-flying offense for the Celtics, which were a top-5 team offensively in the first half all season, so we're going to lock that one in. Now, we have a few player prop builders for you guys as well that I really like today that we're going to play around with a few different guys in a few different games, okay? So this is what we're going to do. The first one is going to be Mr. Jalen Brunson. I'm taking him for 25-plus points. Until we can see a team stop him, I'm taking this every single game. Okay, I've taken his point line just about every single game as well, and it's cash. He's the second leading scorer in the playoffs right now, just behind Giannis. Obviously, Giannis is eliminated. But Brunson, he's averaging over 30 points per game so far in the playoffs. Him getting 25, that's not asking for too much, because this is the thing, right? Like, let's look at the game. Like, if we go to the player props here on Doing Sports real quick, and we're going to look at some of these guys, right? Great game in game 1 for OG Anunoby and for Josh Hart offensively. Mikal Bridges, 51 minutes, okay? Let's look at some of the other role players. 45 for Josh Hart, but only 14 points. OG, 46 minutes in game 1, 29 points. But how often do we get that OG type of performance? We can see here, 22-19. He had 22. So, I mean, he's been playing way better recently. We love to see that. Got 19 points per game over the last 10 games. And if you want to take his 16.5, I'm not opposed to that. But same thing for Cat. Where has this guy been over the last 3 games? But if we look at Brunson, he shows up. Besides this 16-point performance here, 29, 40, 32, 30. So all we need is 5 points for Brunson. Now, if we go to the second game of the day between the Thunder and the Nuggets, one of the props that I took in game one that I really liked, and it's really not bad value because I'm trying to find good value to get to plus 100, is Jamal Murray for 2 plus 3-pointers. And you can see that gets us a plus 120 odds here. I like that. So Jamal Murray, 2 3-pointers, Brunson, 25 points. Now let's go look at Jamal Murray real quickly here. And in game one, he cashed this for us in the first half, hitting 2 3-pointers very early. But this is the thing. Only 2 of 7. But the volume's there. That's what we need. 2 of 6 here. 8 of 14 here. 0 of 3, so not the best volume, but he also didn't have his best performance there. 1 of 5, 1 of 4, 4 of 8, 3 of 7. So since we've started the playoffs, he's hit 2 3-pointers in 2, 4, 5 of the 8 games that he's played. So that's a pretty good sample size. And when we look at OKC, what they're trying to do defensively, not trying to do a whole lot. I mean, we got a high total at 230. And then we got to think when Russ is driving, he's kicking. Jokic, obviously, he's going to get his points, but he's also looking for Murray. And we know what Jamal Murray can do in the playoffs. We all talk about playoff Jimmy, but we also should talk about playoff Jamal because Jamal is a guy who steps up every time come playoff time. We only need 2 3-pointers. It's not asking for a whole lot. And he's getting, 40 minutes plus a game? So he should be able to be on the floor long enough. I like it. The volume should be there. Let's get Jamal Murray. Speaking of this Nuggets game, let's look at Mr. Jokic and let's look at his rebounds, bro. Dude grubbed on the boards game one. 22 rebounds. It's so crazy that I took his over 19.5 rebounds live. That's how I was like, because he had 16 rebounds in the first half. It was absolutely crazy. So for me, when you think of a high total, that means a lot of shots. But when you look at the minutes, we're much shorter bench in the playoffs. And then when you look at the big men for the Nuggets, besides Jokic, they don't really have a whole lot of big men. Aaron Gordon's the only other kind of real big guy that they play for real. Besides that, everybody else are more like guards that are coming off the bench. So Jokic is going to have to grab boards. We know Holmgren's got size. Hartenstein's got size. That's why OKC got some of these guys. But OKC likes to play fast as well, and Jokic likes to get the break started, so he'll grab the rebound and start taking off. So for me, I'm going to lock in Jokic's rebound line in and of itself, by itself, over 13.5 boards. It is high, but we can get it at plus 100 here, so I love the fact that we're not laying too much juice on this, and what I would do is I would ladder this up. I would take the 13.5, I would take a 15 plus, and then maybe like a 17 plus, and then maybe a small sprinkle on a 20 plus. It's not unheard of for Jokic, and we just saw him do it in game one, so we can lock that in, okay? Our third and final best bet of the day is going to be our last builder of the day. Now, let's go to the points totals for some of these guys. I could, look at this. For 25 plus points, for SGA, it's minus 670. He got 30 last game, but he barely got to 31, 32 points. I don't even want to sweat that out. If I'm being honest, sweating out 30 points is just annoying. It was like sweating Anthony Edwards 25 last night. He finished with 23, and he had 1 point in the first half. That's just annoying. So why don't we just stick with the 20s, the 15s, the 25, unless the volume's there and the value. At 25 plus, there's no value. So this is what we're going to do. Jalen Williams for 20 plus points, okay? Let's look at him real quickly. Somebody has to step up for OKC besides SGA. Now, again, if you want to take SGA for 30 plus points, you can see the game logs here. He's gone that for 3 straight games. But somebody else has to step up. And at a total of 230, that's like who else is going to score besides SGA? Well, Lou Dort doesn't want to do nothing but shoot threes and play defense. And look at Jalen Williams. Only 16 points in game one on 5 of 20 shooting. So the volume was there, but this is a concerning point. 4 of 6 from the free throw line, 1 of 2 from the free throw line. We got to get more aggressive. We got to get to the free throw line, bro. So for me, you can take his over 1.5 3 points as well, because you see he's got over that number 7 last 10 games. I kind of like that. I might sprinkle a little bit on that, but I want to take the 20 points. He's averaging 24 points per game over the last 10 games. He's gone over this number in every playoff game thus far, except for the last one. And if we look at him against Denver this season, 16-12, so he's gone under the last 2 games, 26-29. So this is a team that he sometimes struggles against, but I think he should be able to get the volume here today. And again, at a total of 230, Who else is going to score points to help SGA out? If you want to take Chet for 15, you can, but Chet's a little bit inconsistent for me, and I think Chet struggles a little bit with size. As ironic as that sounds, when he's playing against teams with a lot of size, he doesn't do as well. So for me, I got to go with the number 2 guy on this team, Jalen Williams, for 20-plus points. But what am I going to pair that with? Well, one of the role players for the Knicks. And I'm going to give you guys a few different angles that you could take a look at. The reason I keep it down is because I have some of my notes over here on my iPad. And the other guy that I'm going to do here is you can do Josh Hart for 8 rebounds, okay? Because somebody else is going to have to rebound the ball besides Cat. Cat got 13 rebounds in game 1, but we know Josh Hart's going to be on the floor for like 500 bajillion minutes. So because he's going to be on the floor, he should get rebound opportunities. I think the Celtics are going to try to play a little faster in this game. So I get you to minus 103. That's not too shabby. But we'll stick with the points here just to keep it consistent. And I'm going to go OG for 15-plus points. So Jalen for 20, OG for 15. You can see that gets us a plus 128. Not too bad. I just showed you what OG has been doing recently. I'll pull it up one more time so you can see. Bro's been hooping. Suni Lee, or whatever her name is, she been in the building. That Asian persuasion got my boy in his bag. And that's what we need right here. 29 points in game 1, 22 against the Pistons, 19 against the Pistons. Like I said, averaging 20 points per game over the last 10 games. And the volume is there. 15 shot attempts. He had 20 last game. He's shooting the 3 ball at a very high rate, not including 6 and 4, but I love the volume. 7 3-point attempts over the last 10 games as well. So I'm expecting that today. And I think the way the Celtics are playing this, it's like, okay, we want to stop Brunson, but who else can beat us? Cat has been disappearing. He's been struggling with the size. So I got to go with OG here to give us some buckets. But again, if you want to go with Josh Hart's rebounds as well, I'm not opposed to that. So that is what I've locked in for today's card, guys. Real quickly, a recap on today's episode of what we're going to be locking in. I might have 1 or 2 added plays a little bit later, but because I'm going to be doing a lot of nerfies and I'm playing a lot of innings, this is really the most I want to be exposed right now. If I lose on the baseball plays early, then we'll go back and add maybe 1 or 2 more builders. So that's where we're going to go. Phillies on the money line against the Tampa Bay Rays, as I just think Shane Baz, his struggles with the home run ball, and the Phillies offense should be able to score too much. We got Yankees first 5 on the run line because Max Fried is just better than Dylan Cease at this point. And our builders of the day are going to be Jalen Williams, 20-plus points, and Anunoby, 15-plus, Brunson, 25-plus, Jamal Murray, 2+ threes, plus 128, plus 120, so good value there. And then Jokic over 13.5 rebounds, as that man has been absolutely grubbing. So that is what we're going with on today's episode of the Free 3, guys. I do appreciate y'all for tapping in. Again, today's episode is your boy Noble Living. I'll be back tomorrow. I promise you guys with more picks and plays, all right? Let's get to the bag, dictate your fate, get to that cheddar, and let's have a day. All right, guys? Appreciate all the love and support. Let's have a day, and I'll see y'all on tomorrow's video. Later, gang.